many more hours to the draft? It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. It starts at 8:05 Eastern time.
So 5:05 here in Vegas.
Yep, so we have 24 hours. Just about, almost. Yeah, 25 hours. 25 hours. 25 hours to the draft. So we're not going to go into a lot of the draft because there's too much shit for me to go over. Even though I love to talk, I don't want to talk about that much because I hate being wrong. And if I go through and pick 1 to 10, I'm going to be wrong probably 7 of those 10 picks. So we're just going to go the top 3, okay? Do you know any of these people in the draft?
No.
Okay. So the top 3, the consensus top 3 is Anthony Edwards from Georgia.
I've heard about him.
He's a shooting guard, so he plays the same position as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. And he can jump out of the fucking building. Athletic freak like crazy. Then you have LaMelo Ball, who is related to Lonzo Ball, who happens to be related to LeVar Ball, unfortunately. Well, I mean, fortunately, because he got two sons in the NBA.
It's fortunate but unfortunate.
And got a third in NBA tryout.
It's fortunate but unfortunate at the same time.
Exactly. So he went over and played in, oh God,
Lithuania.
Yes, there you go. He also is part owner of an NBA team, of a team in Lithuania. So, and he's like 19. Did you hear me?
Must be nice to have that kind of money.
So, but they worked their ass off for it. In this scenario, his dad and them, they did work their ass off for it. They made themselves into, well, let me get this straight. They worked their ass off to get Lonzo and them, to get them good at basketball. And then he had the marketing wherewithal to make them into a household name. Like, they were on WWE TV, saying the N-word.
Well, I mean,
like, Lonzo Ball was like, beat that nigga's ass! Beat that nigga's ass! I'm serious! It was Lonzo, I mean, LaMelo Ball was saying that. So, and LeVar took off his shirt, like, yeah. He made himself into a brand. And that's just absolutely amazing.
I'm sure I'd get along with his kids, but...
Oh, me and him would have a blast. I would love to get him on the podcast.
Okay.
We just don't.
If you're doing that, I'm not going to be here.
We don't have enough money to pay him to come on the podcast.
We don't have enough money to pay me to be here.
Me neither. So LaMelo Ball, he played in Lithuania. He's a tall point guard. I don't know how well he is defensively, but he has ball handles. He can score.
Well, I think at one point, weren't they talking about him being the number 1 pick?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. These are the consensus top 3. There is no number 1. So the consensus, any one of these 3 can go number 1. LaMelo, he started off as the number 1 pick. Everybody thought so. But depending on the fits and the needs and what happens with the trades, depends on who goes number 1. If you got any of these 3, in my opinion, all of these 3 have high potential. All 3 of them do. But they also have high bust factors. Because it's just, there's none of them stand out to me as much. And especially with the shortened college basketball season. And not really seeing these kids play for the last year. Like you saw Anthony Edwards play at his pro day and there was some reports that it was underwhelming. But Anthony Davis and LeBron James were there. So LaMelo's not number 2, but could be number 2. And then the last is James Wiseman. James Wiseman, I think, is a 7'1" or 7'1" center. He was the guy that got kicked out of Memphis last year. Because we talked about the story. Penny Hardaway was a coach. He played high school with them. He ended up going and they said improper benefits and he just benefits and he just said, "Fuck you guys, I'm done." Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah.
All right. So.
Sorry, I'm responding to somebody.
He is an athletic center that's a defensive protector that is agile and would work in this day and age. One of those centers like a DeAndre Ayton with the Suns, where depending on where he goes, depends on, in my opinion, how much he blossoms. So those are the 3 considered. There's a lot of other ones. Obi Toppin, RJ Hampton, he's not a consensus top 3, but there's a lot of good people in this draft. I don't think it's top heavy. I just think that out of these 3, there's going to be one that will probably be very, very good. And then you'll get a lot of good to great rotation players. You'll have some flirt with all-stars, maybe get a perennial all-star down the line, but you'll have a lot of good players depending on the fits. Minnesota has the first pick.
Is that the Timberwolves?
Yes!
I'm getting there.
Yes! Okay, so Minnesota, I did listen to the jump today, and the GM or whoever the fuck he was for Minnesota was talking. They could trade that pick. But I only think they trade that pick is if they know Edwards is going to be available later on. He did say that he could take Wiseman, and he sees that fitting together because two big men playing next to each other normally don't work, but it happened last year with the Lakers. So he's basically saying if you have a dynamic big man like Anthony Davis, it will work. So I could see him taking Wiseman, but I think Edwards is a guy. Edwards feels to me more of a fit. D'Angelo Russell still plays on ball. He's still your point guard. If you bring in LaMelo, one of them are going to have to play off ball. Or LaMelo's going to be coming off the bench as your sixth man. If you bring in James Wiseman, yes, you're going to have two big-ass dudes right next to each other. James is playing center. Anthony Towns is playing power forward who can shoot. Very, very good shooter. But I just think Anthony Edwards fits in perfectly. They need wing help, in my opinion. Their depth at wings is not as good. They have some good players. If I'm not mistaken, they have Malik Beasley on their team that they got traded from the fucking Nuggets. Is he still on the Nuggets? Yeah, he's on the Minnesota Timberwolves. So he's a point guard, shooting guard. 6'4". So they have him, but having another shooting guard, another player at that position, the wing position, I think is just a good fit. Keep getting out of the frame on Facebook. Okay, so...
It's alright. I'll be out of frame because I don't know what I'm talking about.
The Warriors, which you know about the Warriors.
Yeah.
How do the Warriors have who are such a good team that went to 4 or 5 straight finals? Get the number 2 pick.
Calm down on hitting the table.
Get the number 2 pick. Because they sucked last year, right? So I think they take Wiseman.
They have the number 2 pick?
Yep. Unless there's a trade at Minnesota. I do think that the Warriors could entertain the trade market. But this is the issue. Let's just look at their roster right now, okay? So right now they got Steph, Clay, Andrew Wiggins, Steph at the point guard, Klay Thompson at the shooting guard, Andrew Wiggins at the small forward, and Draymond Green at the power forward. You notice I didn't say center? And James Wiseman's the center. And that's what they've needed. So, could they pair Andrew Wiggins and the number 2 pick with somebody? Yes. But who are you going to get? Maybe DeMar DeRozan? Maybe you get DeMar DeRozan and play him at shooting guard, at small forward. But if it was me, I would take the length and the athletic ability for Andrew Wiggins and try to mold him into more of a defensive guy. And then I would pick James Wiseman. I don't think they trade the pick. The Hornets, you're going to have to clip this because this is going to be a big news, okay? I'm about to make a prediction right here, okay?
I'll just know when you go like this.
Prediction.
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers, okay? Hornets, I think, trade their pick. Unless they have the 3rd pick. Hornets are owned by Michael Jordan. Unless Anthony Edwards is available. If Anthony Edwards is available, I think they take him. Because I think Jordan would like a shooting guard. I could see them taking James Wiseman, which I think would fit great with Devontae Graham, fucking PJ Washington at the power forward, Devontae Graham at the point guard, Malik Monk at the shooting guard, who hasn't lived up to his potential. I don't know who the fuck they have at small forward. Nobody knows. And then somebody probably knows. And then you got James Wiseman at your center. I think that works out perfectly. And it works with their timeline. The fit works, the timeline works. Same thing with Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. I think that timeline works because as they start to build and push, Anthony Edwards starts getting good. Maybe in a year or two, when they're actually a contender for the title, that's when it benefits them the most. With the Hornets, if Anthony Edwards there, I think he fits in and slides in. I think in this day and age, you can get away with not having a big man. But you do need these wing positions. But I ultimately think that the Hornets will make a trade. And shout out to YouTuber Crispy Flakes, because I was bored at work today and I was watching his YouTube channel. And he said that the Hornets are the leaders to land Russell Westbrook. There we go. Need some action. Russell fucking Westbrook. You know who Russell Westbrook is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The walking triple-double. The man that wants out of Houston. The man that said, I want to go back to my dominant ball handling ways and being the leader and the general of the floor. I think they trade the number 3 pick, Nicholas Batum, and Terry Rozier for Russell Westbrook. And just go on. Russell Westbrook on this team in the East is a playoff team. They're not winning shit, but they're a playoff team. And I think they go there because they don't get big markets. So my suggestion is Anthony Edwards goes 1. Wiseman goes 2. And the Hornets trade the 3 pick, Nicholas Batum, and Terry Rozier to the Houston Rockets for Russell Westbrook. And the Houston Rockets keep fucking James Harden. Please don't trade him to the Nets. Keep James Harden and draft LaMelo Ball. That's how the draft goes.